our real take on If Beale Street Could Talk is going to tell you exactly why this movie was a multi-award nominated film.
If Beale Street Could Talk is directed by Barry Jenkins, who is better known for directing Moonlight. This film stars Kiki Layne and Stephan James as a pair of lovers, Tish and Fonnie. It also stars Regina King as Sharon. Moonlight was a brilliant film, and If Beale Street Could Talk, in my eyes, surpasses that movie. This is a fresh perspective on a beautifully told love story between a young African-American couple in Harlem as they face all sorts of struggles, including family struggles, pregnancy, and more specifically with our young couple Tish and Fonnie,
right.
You know, she trying to prove the innocence of her fiancés, you know, committing a crime. You know?
Right. Yeah, there's so many different aspects to this film, but for me, you know, like you said earlier, I really loved the fact that this really centered on this non-traditional approach to a love story. You know, it was not cliche at all.
Absolutely. This is such an intimate movie, it feels so raw and so palpable. There's something really admirable to what these young actors accomplish on the screen, I think.
Right, yeah, I think the director, Barry Jenkins, right, he really took his time to breathe life into these characters and the relationship between them.
Yes, there's a vulnerability between these two young actors, you know, and it's amazing. You can really feel that they're in love. You can really feel that they're wanting a productive future for themselves. You can feel how they're dreamers, especially, you know, the actor who plays Fonnie. You can feel that he really wants what's best for his fiance.
So you talk about the characters being such standouts in this movie. Well, to me, one of the main characters was the cinematography.
Oh yeah, that camera, man.
Talk about
wonderful things happen with
storytelling.
That camera. Oh man, this movie is like a poem, dude. I mean, that's the perfect word to describe this movie. It's poetry, because it's almost like the camera is in a, you know, I hate to say it this way, but it's almost like it's making love to these characters, you know, like it's so intimate with these close-ups and, you know, this soft focus and meticulous slow panning between the characters.
Okay. It really complemented the story and the dialogue, the characters. That's relevant, meaningful cinematography.
Absolutely. And you know, to add to the storytelling, you know, the storytelling techniques, there's kind of like a non-linear fashion going on at times, because at times they go back in time to show you how these lovers were as kids, you know, and it's beautiful. It's almost like a vignette that takes you back and forth, and it shows you the beautiful blossoming romance between these lovers, but also the difficult times that they have to go through.
Yeah, it really works for the characterization, for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, it enriches it. And also Regina King, you know, we've got to mention her, because
Golden Globe winner?
Yeah, because even though Layne and James definitely show a wide range of emotions with their performances, and they definitely have the showier roles, but Regina King as Tish's mother,
Sharon,
Sharon, she does a great job, because she really shows a lot of restraint and still has a lot to say with a very controlled performance.
Right, I kind of felt like she could have used a little more screen time, considering that with the time that she had, she blew it out the water.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, going back to the actors, I thought Stephan James, for me, was the best actor in this movie. Everything from his portrayal of the character in terms of facial expressions and his intonation and his dialogue, I thought was masterful. I was like, who is this guy? I never heard of him before.
Yep.
I mean, afterward, I found out that he was a character on that show Homecoming and was very popular, and so I kind of feel like I'm missing out. But yeah, going back to just the dialogue, again, I love to use the term relevant, meaningful, and that's what the dialogue was. This was a very dialogue-centered movie where there wasn't any wasted words, there wasn't any banal conversation, and again, you have all this beautiful interactions between characters and these meaningful topics, and so that's where you're going to get rounded characters.
And a really nice pacing, just to throw that in there. You know, nothing feels out of of place. This is a director that knew exactly what he wanted to craft. And the music, I mean, my God, I downloaded part of the soundtrack because the music perfectly sets the tone. It makes you feel deeply connected to these characters' feelings and their plight, and it really makes you feel they're yearning for each other. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I really agree with you that the musical score really did a good job of molding these moods, and again, another type of character within the movie.
Yeah, if Nicholas Britell doesn't get an Oscar nomination, I'd be very surprised. He's totally deserving.
I concur, yep. So if I had to nitpick about this movie, I would say that maybe in the first half it dragged a little bit. Maybe in the first act, I would say. There were times where I thought that Tish's narration was a little stale, but again, I'm just nitpicking, okay? This is an excellent movie, guys. This is a movie that you should watch in the theater because of the cinematography. Like we talked about, the visual storytelling is worth the money, okay? Now, as far as reels, one of the best movies easily I've seen this year, so I give it a solid 4.5 reels.
To disagree with you a little bit on.
You're disagreeing with me?
It's one of my favorite things to do. So yeah, the narration by Tish, it's not stale. And I don't think that it's boring. I disagree. I think that the narration is meant to be one of absolute sadness and yearning. This movie really is about dreams deferred. That's really true, is, you know, and it goes with that Harlem, you know, kind of theme, you know, in poetry and in literature.
Yeah, that whole Langston Hughes vibe.
That whole Langston Hughes vibe. So that, I think, was the tone that she was going for with the narration. But I really, really love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. It made both of our top 10 lists.
Yep.
I don't have anything else to add. I'm going to agree with your rating and give it 4.5 reels.
Man, never happens.
You know, I really can't pinpoint a specific weakness other than the fact that it did feel a little bit slow at times, but the technique made up for it, I think.
Yeah.
You know, the camera work, the music, it was all very carefully crafted.
Right. Yeah, it didn't lose me, but I can see how some people at the very beginning may be like, okay, kind of moving on.
Yeah, but it moves along quite well.
Yeah, it does. It's good.
So check this movie out and let us know what you think in the comments below. Look us up on Facebook at Real Screeners and on Instagram at real.screeners.
And like I said earlier, this is definitely a movie theater movie, so go ahead and hit up your local theater. Hopefully it's an Alamo Draft House, even better. And if you like our reviews, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell button. We'll see you guys next time when the Real Screeners give you our real take on movies.
And that's not gonna work.
You weren't feeling it. You almost had it. Who's known for his role.
Who's known for his role. Okay, I think I'm ready now. Okay. No, I'm not.
And if you have an Alamo Draft House in your city, even better.
Orchestral score.
Orchestral score.
Orchestral score.
Orchestral score. Orchestral
score.
Orchestral score. Yeah, I thought the orchestral score by